The Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's condemnation of Israel's actions in Gaza as genocide marks a significant rhetorical escalation by Saudi Arabia, aligning with mounting international outcry over the humanitarian crisis. The Crown Prince's speech at the Arab Islamic Summit in Riyadh emphasized a united Arab denunciation of Israel's offensive and siege on Gaza, and further compounded by references to the attacks on Lebanon and warnings about Israeli policy towards Iran. While his remarks echo long-standing grievances within the region, such as the desecration of holy sites and the undermining of the Palestinian Authority, they also carry weight because of the strategic position of Saudi Arabia as a key regional power, potentially re-evaluating its normalizing attempts to establish some sort of diplomatic rapport with Israel. However, the Crown Prince's position as a moral arbiter in this context is debatable, given his own record on human rights. The 2018 murder of Jamal Khashoggi, widely believed to have been ordered by Mohammed bin Salman himself, casts a long shadow over his international credibility. Khashoggi, a critic of the Saudi regime, a columnist for the Washington Post, was assassinated and dismembered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in Turkey. So it's extraordinary that in the lineup, the Crown Prince is standing almost next to President Erdogan. The brutal nature of this murder, the subsequent cover-up, drew global condemnation, tarnishing the Crown Prince's image as a reformist and sparking widespread calls for accountability. US intelligence agencies and investigative bodies pointed directly to bin Salman as responsible for authorizing the operation, leading to strained relations with Western allies, casting doubt on his commitment to human rights. But time passes. This backdrop complicates bin Salman's denunciation of Israeli actions, and they must be denounced. It is absolutely right to condemn Netanyahu's continued assault on Gaza, the number of children killed. But I think it's very interesting how the football game in Amsterdam, the slogans which were being shouted were celebrating that aggression. This is something which has been taken on by the hardliners in Israeli society, and it must be called out. It must be called out. There's, of course, a huge majority in Israel that abhor what is going on, and we must never forget those. This is a government which is out of control. And the Turkish president Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who's previously positioned himself as a defender of Palestinian rights and was on hand at the summit, might have been better placed to voice these accusations without the same level of perceived hypocrisy. Erdogan, despite his own controversial domestic policies, has not been implicated in acts as egregious as the Khashoggi affair and has consistently criticized Israeli policies. In this context, while Mohammed bin Salman's condemnation may reflect the broader Arab world's frustration and legitimate concerns over Israel's military actions, his personal history with human rights invites skepticism, and the juxtaposition of his critique with Erdogan's parallel warnings highlights the delicate balance of influence and credibility among Muslim leaders responding to the Gaza crisis. The Crown Prince's remarks, though forceful, are viewed and must be viewed through the prism of his own past actions, leading many to question his suitability, not the value and purpose of what he says, but his suitability as the voice of moral outrage in these discussions. Frankly, he cheapens the debate and the points that he is making, because he is making them.